So, Paul, we've been in lockdown for a few weeks now, and a number of us have lost our jobs. Others have been significantly impacted in terms of the income in our businesses. And a lot of the government payments haven't kicked in yet. We know we might be entitled to them, but they haven't arrived. And a number of us are feeling very, very cash strapped right now. What are some immediate things we could do to help?
Look, first and foremost, I think it's a great opportunity to review your expenses, and some ways to reduce some of that burden of those expenses would be that if you're renting, then talk to your landlord to see if you can get a reduction in rent, or rent temporarily suspended until those benefits start to be paid. If you have a mortgage, consider reducing your repayments to the minimum, converting your loan to an interest-only loan, or putting all of your payments on hold, although that would really only be a last resort. Review your discretionary spending, so cut out those non-essential things, which is a lot easier to do when you're in lockdown. It's a lot harder to go out for dinner at a restaurant. And shop around on fixed expenses, so things like health insurance and electricity. Now is a good time to be able to review those expenses to see if you could perhaps save some money there.
Yes, I think you make a good point there about reviewing your expenses and also negotiating. I know when I've had a conversation with my health insurer, for example, I've been with them for a very long time, and I found another health insurer that was going to give me a better deal. It was amazing how my current insurer actually jumped in and said, no, we'll match that price just to hold on to your business. So I think another message might be, don't be afraid to play hardball and negotiate, because people are prepared to help you out there at the moment.
Yeah, certainly negotiating with your existing providers makes sense. I mean, they're a business just like everybody else, and they're finding it hard to compete and to stay profitable during these times. So they're also open to negotiation to make sure that they get to keep their business, and obviously then for them that they get that loyalty going forward if they're able to keep you on board now.
Yeah, very good point. So, Paul, when we're in financial crisis and when you're in relationship, things can get a little tricky. It can be a challenging time. We're in lockdown, and that's challenging enough. But money can also put a lot of stress and strain on relationships. As a financial planner, what advice do you have to couples and families during this time?
But money can have a significant impact on a relationship, even when there's good times and we're not in lockdown. So we think the most important thing to do with regards to money in a relationship is communicate, no matter how difficult that might be sometimes. And of course, if you are having problems, then consider meeting with a coach or an advisor or a counsellor, somebody who's impartial to help you work through those problems regarding communicating and finance. If you think that your partner is trying to control your behaviour or restrict your freedom by withholding money or being too controlling of finances in some other way, then we do recommend that you seek help, because this is really domestic abuse, and it's not something that should be acceptable to either party in a relationship. We think it's important that you take the time to discuss what's important to each of you. Do you understand what your partner's goals are and the outcomes that they're looking to achieve? And also discuss whether there's anything that's worrying you and what concerns that you might have. And remember that in any relationship, there's always a need to compromise. So it might be that he needs a new mountain bike or wants a new mountain bike, but that's not something that she necessarily values. But it's important that you are working as a team, and that you're both on the it's important that you're working as a team and that you're both on the same page, working towards the same goals and outcomes.
And it's probably a good opportunity to sit down together and work out a budget, and actually use the budgeting process to have a conversation about, well, what are all the expenses and what are the needs and what are the wants, and separating what's really needed from what we want but don't need.
Definitely, now's a great time to sit down and collaboratively look at a budget. We tend to find that within any relationship, one party of that relationship, one partner tends to do more of the heavy lifting when it comes to finance. So one maybe, worried about the budget more than the other, or, paying the bills more than the other. And it's important that you communicate these things so that one partner doesn't feel the burden of all of the financial responsibility, that's shared by both parties going forward.